Hi everybody, I'm Craig Hicks and thanks for joining us again on the Denison Sports Network. Today we are going to talk some softball and I'm joined by head coach Tiffany Ozbun. We are getting close to the start of the season and coach, you've got a little bit of a new look this season. Take a look at your roster. You lost 6 seniors last year, but you did a great job, replaced them with 6 first years. And tell me a little bit about how this preseason's going. I know you've got a lot of different question marks throughout your team.
Yeah, it's going really, really well, Craig, especially for as much transition as we've had. Like you said, we lost 6 seniors last year, and you'd think, wow, that's a lot. We've been really surprised with how these freshmen have responded and really have given us a new dynamic with our team. Our seniors have really worked hard to make sure that our team chemistry is there and that we're meshing really well. The thing that's been really fun this year with the preseason is just how competitive everyone is and how much everybody is into just trying to earn those spots.
Now, talk about earning spots. When I look over your roster, I noticed one returning pitcher that had good experience last year, and so to maybe the untrained eye, they'd see there might be a little bit of a weakness there, a chink in the armor. Could you maybe tell everybody why that might not be the case?
Yeah. Well, Erin Laswell, she's our one returning pitcher that you mentioned, and she had a great year last year. I think she was just overshadowed a little bit by the work that Becca Dyer did and the success that she had. But recruiting is really the lifeline of any program, and thankfully we've got great assistant coaches that help us in the recruiting, and they've brought in 2 great pitchers, and so Sarah and Lauren, those will be our freshman pitchers, and I think you'll see a lot of them on the mound, and I think they'll do a great job of really completing that pitching staff for us.
Now, one player I do want to single out and talk about is senior Julie Rooney, who is the NCAC Player of the Year, so that's a nice luxury to have her coming back. It would appear to me that she's the player that you kind of have to build around this year.
Yeah, and we really build around her just because she's a great leader. She's a leader by example, which I think is hard to find sometimes in some athletes, but she also isn't afraid to speak up or call somebody out if they're not towing the line or working as hard as they should. But she's not our only leader on the team. We've got 2 other great seniors that are doing a phenomenal job with our leadership, and I think that's why our team is where it's at right now, because as juniors they came into my office not happy with how last year went, and they had a game plan that they wanted this year to be better and that they wanted a lot more for their senior year, and it wasn't just all talk. Like, they've put a lot of time and energy into our season so far, and I'm really hoping that they can see those rewards out on the playing field, because we've seen them already in practice.
Well, I know from some of our previous conversations that you've got some position battles all over the field going on.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to Arizona. They're real games, but is it a little bit of spring training for you in a sense where you're going to give kids a chance to play in Arizona and then hope that you come back to Ohio ready with a lineup set for NCAC play?
Yeah, especially this year more than any other year. We have so much competition in so many different positions, and it's one of those, I think everyone is qualified to play and have that starting position. It's just a matter of who is consistently going to execute. We've talked a lot about that in practice as far as consistently executing, because we have a lot of talent. I look at first base, and there's a 3-way tie at times at first base. Our middle infield, there's several people that are very competent in earning those starting positions. Same with the outfield. So it's been fun at practice. It's made practices a little more lively. Now, sometimes as a coach, you have all those options and you're trying to pick the perfect option. That can get a little stressful, but it's a nice problem to have, just to have the depth and the talent that we do.
Let's go back to Arizona for a minute, because it seems like a pretty beautiful place this time of
Yeah,
year.
it does.
I watched a little bit of the spring training baseball right now.
Yeah.
It looks unbelievable, like the place you want to be. You've gone a few times. Is that a place where you feel like you can help yourself a little bit in the West Coast, do some recruiting while you're out there, or have kids come see you?
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Over the past few years, we've really tried to expand our recruiting base and do some more work on the West Coast. And we've always gone to Arizona just because the weather has been really nice, and it's a change of pace for our players. But in the recruiting realm, it's really helped us to get out there, and those recruits or those student athletes that are interested in our program, they can actually see us play in person. We can talk with them, talk with their families, so it makes us a little more accessible to them, which I think is important when you're trying to find a school You want to learn as much as you can, and I really like for our recruits to have that hands-on approach in their search as far as get to see us play, get to come on campus, meet our players, meet our staff, so they know the commitment that they're making, and they can get an idea whether it's a good fit for them or not.
Well, I know that you finally got a chance to get outside and practice a little bit on our football field on the turf. After being confined to the field house, how was that transition?
Yeah, it's a transition we make every single year, so in some regards we're used to it, but I can't say that that practicing in the field house is something that we look forward to. We are absolutely blessed to have the facilities that we do. We can get so much work done in our field house, and to have our turfed field that we can use, that's what we've utilized a lot just prior to spring break. And that's what helps our outfielders, to see those live fly balls and to just get outside is nice. So we're fortunate to have the facilities, but at the end of the day, to get out to Arizona and play softball in its natural state, that's exciting for us. But our players, they handle it really well. It's a mentality that we have. If you go in and you say it's impossible to play in these conditions or practice, well, then it is going to be impossible. But our players are always really positive about it. Even when you get into the fifth week of being inside, we try to find ways to keep things fresh, and our leaders do a good job of keeping everybody on task.
Now, I know I'm really looking forward to the home opener on March 24th. Hopefully we'll have some green grass out there and we'll be ready to go, warm weather. Until then, the season opener will be on March 15th. That will be in Tucson, Arizona. When the team comes back, you can catch all of the Big Red's home games live on the Denison Sports Network. All you need to do is go to DenisonBigRed.com. Just click on the schedule page of the softball team, look for the live video link, and you can watch it from the confines of your own home. Or if it's a nice day, come on out and watch. So for Tiffany Ozbun, I'm Craig Hicks, and thanks for joining us on the Denison Sports Network, and go Big Red.